Nova Southeastern University, the 44th Annual Commencement Exercises. Greetings, the trustees, the president, administration and faculty of Nova Southeastern University bid you welcome to this joyous celebration for the conferral of degrees upon those whom the university honors for learning and diligence, and upon those whom the university charges to turn scholarship into service. Will the audience please look at your program? We are going to sing the Star Spangled Banner. Please sit down. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you Dr. Ralph Rogers, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Dr. Rogers.
Thank you. We welcome all of you who have joined us to honor the members of the class of 2014. Thank you for attending the observance of the 2014 Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony of Nova Southeastern University. I would like to thank our faculty marshals who led the candidates into the arena and the outstanding student honorees who carried in the banners. At this time, I would like to recognize the members of Nova Southeastern University's Board of Trustees who are with us today on the platform. Dr. Sylvia Flores, who's today's Grand Marshal. Ronald Asef, Chair of the Board of Trustees. Trustee Keith Brown. Trustee Barbara Trebel Laundrie. Trustee Alan Levan. Trustee Albert Menacci. I would like to introduce Dr. George Hanberry, President and Chief Executive Officer of Nova Southeastern University, and Ms. Jacqueline Trevisano, Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. Also assisting us today for the hearing impaired is Ms. Lisa Hendrickson and Ms. Kathleen Stevenson from Nationwide Interpreter Resources Incorporated. I would now like to introduce Dr. Brad Williams, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean for the College of Undergraduate Studies. Dr. Jamie Manberg, Associate Dean for the Abraham S. Fischler School of Education. Dr. Stanley Wilson, Dean of the College of Healthcare Sciences. Dr. Marcella Rutherford, Dean for the College of Nursing. Dr. Don Rosenberg, Dean of the Farquhar College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. J. Preston Jones, Dean for the H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business and Entrepreneurship. Dr. Kimberly Durham, Dean for the Institute for the Study of Human Service, Health, and Justice. Thank you. To formally open this commencement exercise, I am privileged to ask President George Hanberry to come forward.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. And what a wonderful day this is for commencement. And what about that orchestra that we had under the direction of Dr. Mark Kavanaugh? Members of the Board of Trustees, Captain Sully Sullenberger, it's my distinct pleasure as Nova Southeastern University's 6th president to welcome all the family, friends, loved ones, significant others to this 44th commencement at Nova Southeastern University. Through this ceremony, we celebrate and publicly witness your hard work of your academic achievements. In particular, I would like to recognize and thank all of our graduates and attendees who are retired and active military service. We have close to 1,000 returning veterans, and we have some existing students that are active military. So please join me in asking them to stand and be recognized, all retirees, veterans, and existing service personnel. Thank you for your service and continued service. It is beyond fitting that we have a speaker who is famous for his leadership in one defining moment of a rapidly evolving situation which catapulted him to national prominence and a real hero. Today is a celebration of each of your achievements you've accomplished here during your tenure at NSU. And as you prepare to go forward to your own rapidly evolving situations, which may or may not be as defining as Captain Sullenberger's, but I assure you, it will be life after NSU and today. So I'm proud to stand before you as future leaders and wish to see that you embark after today on your next phase of your successful journey in life. Each of you, in your own individual and unique ways, are going to meet the world. And as Max Dupree said, you can't be where you are and need to be if you stay where you are. Y'all have needed to be here at NSU, but now it's time to be where you are going to be. Today is about you, our graduates, through this public recognition of your achievements. But I want to just take a moment to commend all of the faculty of the 6 undergraduate colleges that we have at this university, because it is the faculty members who prepared you for this challenging and inspiring and teaching moments for you, so that you could indeed meet the future with great hope and anticipation for success. Many of you probably already have a favorite professor, but it's the cumulative knowledge from all of your professors that you have amassed your knowledge today. I would like for all the faculty members to please stand, and students, I'd like for you to give a rounding applause and recognize this great faculty. Faculty members, would you please stand? Hey, you got even in the peanut gallery some. Hopefully your faculty, as well as administrative mentors, were able to provide you with both a pathway to your chosen professions while simultaneously educating you to be critical thinkers. Our goal at this university is not only to prepare you to receive the diploma you're receiving today, but for you to develop your skills and for us to assist you in unleashing the potential within each and every one of you to be leaders instead of being led. And most importantly, I want to recognize that commencement is not just the ending of your academic career, but it's the beginning of lifelong learning. I hope you will think back to the relationships that you've established at NSU. Your friends, your families, your loved ones, who've been your greatest cheerleaders, who've inspired you to reach beyond your aim and to accomplish what you're seeing come to fruition today. At this time, I would like the families of our graduates to stand and to be recognized. And graduates, I'd like for you to give thanks to your families and your friends who have helped support you. Now we have a little bit more to do here, so think that's the last time I'm going to ask for any recognition of anyone. So as this 2013-2014 school year comes to a close, I want us to take a moment to reflect on the time that you have been here, keeping in mind that many areas of life have that, like a commencement, a beginning and an end, full of hellos and goodbyes. You're ending your time here at NSU as an undergraduate student, and yet you're embarking on new beginnings. Perhaps you will pursue graduate programs, possibly here at NSU or elsewhere, or professional studies. Or maybe you will go to defend your country in the military, or join the workforce, or possibly create the next Facebook or Twitter. Regardless of where you are headed next, I hope you will take with you the same level of curiosity that you had when you came with us. The curiosity to do your best job, the curiosity to explore a better way, curiosity to be involved in lifelong learning, and never, never rest on the knowledge of what you have already amassed. No matter what road you take, I hope that your time here at NSU has taught you the value of that lifelong learning. Because many of today's professions that are in existence today were never even thought of when you first started in pre-kindergarten, or possibly even when you graduated from high school. You've built a foundation to support whatever those changing professions may be. You're now finished as an undergraduate at NSU, but I hope you're not done with NSU. There's nearly 1,000, about 700 of you, out of the 7,000 diplomas that we will award during this commencement season at Nova Southeastern University, which will end in August. During that period of time, you will represent more than 160 countries throughout the world. We've got graduates from countries here today, from Brazil, Jamaica, India, Spain, and states such as New York, New Jersey, Texas, and California. And we've got students right here in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Sunrise, Plantation, or even Davie. And as I said, our graduates also include active military deployed here in the US, Europe, and the Pacific. You see, we are one NSU. You have majored in more than 50 academic programs, everything from business, dance, theater, biology, education, psychology, international studies, computer science, oceanography, legal studies, and many, many more. Many of you came to NSU straight out of high school. Others took a year off to travel or to gain some work experience, or transferred from another college or university. And still others came back after many years of life. Our oldest graduate this year is 72 years old. And as I told the previous commencement, we had law school this morning. That's young. Last year, our oldest graduate was 82 years old. So you never, ever are too old for education. So many of you have tried to see that lifelong learning aspect has continued in your life. But regardless of your age, I'm sure that you all made new friends here at Nova Southeastern University. And I know you've downed more than the FDA's recommended allowance of Red Bull. But I assure you that the memories you have and the friendships that you've made will be treasures for you for your entire life. You all stand out in your own unique ways, and I have personally been able to get to know many of you. Together, you make up that incomparable class of graduates known as NSU's Class of 2014. Now, I know that all of you have had an opportunity, unless you've been under a rock, which I don't think you have, to know about NSU's core values. One of our core values I'd like to mention and give credit to is community. NSU is proud to be recognized by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching as one of 37 universities in the nation, out of more than 4,400 universities nationwide, that have both a category of high research and community engaged. And this is due large part to you. In addition, we were named by the President of the United States as his Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll. It's the highest honor a college or university can receive for its commitment to volunteering, service learning, and civic engagement, and a distinction for which we are very, very proud. This did just not happen by itself. NSU's students logged well over 12,000 hours of volunteer work. And this morning, our law dean pointed out, based upon the pro forma efforts of our law faculty and our students giving back in things such as the Veterans Clinic or the Legal Clinic, when you combine that with the efforts that you've made and the hours that you've given back, whether it's Special Olympics, HEART, working with senior citizens, elderly, healthcare, we have contributed more than $5 million back to the community to give back. Give yourselves a free hand. Our student athletes continue to make us proud as well. NSU Sharks dominate the Sunshine State Conference on the field and in the classroom. NSU student athletes have an average grade point average exceeding 3 points, an impressive statistics that the Sharks have held for 7 consecutive years. And, right, thank you. And they boast one of the highest academic success rates in the NCAA and the entire nation, D1 or D2. And while they've excelled in their academic areas, individual and team sports took many honors this year, including the women's basketball team. Exciting run all the way to the Final Four after capturing the South Region Championships. With more than 162,000 alumni around the world, you'll find sharp friends no matter where you go in every corner of this country and the world. As an NSU alumna, or alumnus, you are entering into good company. And I know you'll continue to make us proud, just as your predecessors have done before you. You see, NSU's success is measured by your success. And I am sure that we all agree that you indeed will be successful in whatever you undertake to do. Because by focusing on goals with enthusiasm and the progressive realization of those worthy goals, that's success. The degree you will be awarded today will be even more valuable in the future as the reputation of this university spreads far and wide because of your accomplishments and your predecessors. I mentioned community as one of NSU's core values, and I would like to finish on one other core value that I hope you will take from the day you graduate and the period of time that you've had here at NSU for the remaining period of your life. Integrity. Now, I don't know what Captain Sullenberger is going to speak on today, but I did hear his response to a question that Charlie Rice asked him on a CBS interview. He was asked, what prepared you for the defining moment in your life of less than 2 minutes? What brought out your leadership, Captain Sullenberger? What brought out your ability to help save the lives of 155 people? And if you want to hear it, you just go to Google. But I'll tell you, Captain Sullenberger, without hesitation, stated unequivocally, it all started with core values and the ability and willingness to live by them and to serve a cause greater than myself. So I challenge you to live up to those types of admonitions. And if you have a hard time thinking of that, think of the admonition that Shakespeare gave to Polonius and his words of advice to his son, Laertes. This, above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not be false to any man. Now, you don't have to have a big job or a fancy title to be a successful leader. But you do have to have integrity. You see, integrity is like a mirror. Once shattered, it's difficult or impossible to restore. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Life always gets in the way sometimes because it's not easy. You will be tested. Life is hard. But those who work hard, persevere and pursue their dreams, and lead an honest and ethical life with integrity, those are the ones, I assure you, will rise to the top, be successful, and will lead. So I end with these comments to our graduates. Keep your aims above your reach. Be bold. Be persistent. You will achieve those aims, but most of all, maintain your integrity because it's your most precious and valuable asset. And now I'd like to quote one of the most serious philosophers that I'm familiar with. Fins up, go Sharks. All right. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. It's my distinct honor to present the James Farquhar Award. Mr. James Farquhar, a former trustee of Nova Southeastern University, was instrumental in establishing the university over 40 years ago. In recognition of his generosity, dedication, vision, and service, an award was established to honor a graduating senior at the annual undergraduate commencement exercises. This award, the James Farquhar Award for Outstanding Student Contribution, is presented to a student who exemplifies most clearly the virtues of scholarship, leadership, and service so characteristic of James Farquhar. As such, the award serves as both a living memorial and an ongoing expression of gratitude. This year, it is my distinct pleasure to present the James Farquhar Award to Daniel Brookins from the Farquhar College of Arts and Sciences. Mr. Brookins truly represents the ideals of James Farquhar. Will Daniel please come forward? Every year, the academic units recognize graduating seniors to receive an Outstanding Achievement Award. The recipients of this award exemplify outstanding academic achievement and have demonstrated evidence of contributions to the university and to the community at large. This year's outstanding students were acknowledged and recognized in front of their peers, faculty, and staff at the baccalaureate reception held last evening. Their photos and short biographies are highlighted toward the back of the commencement program book. Will the recipients of the Outstanding Achievement Awards please come forward when your name is called? The following students were selected by the Abraham S. Fischler School of Education for their outstanding academic achievement. Please come forward and be acknowledged for your achievement from Dr. Manberg as your name is read. I would ask that the audience hold all applause until all names are read. Lindsay Goldstein. Marissa Ashley Hoffman. Thank you, Dr. Manberg. The following student was selected by the College of Healthcare Sciences for her outstanding academic achievement. Please come forward and be acknowledged for your achievement from Dean Wilson as your name is read. Carrie Velasquez. Thank you, Dean Wilson. The following students were selected by the College of Nursing for their outstanding academic achievement. Please come forward and be acknowledged for your achievement from Dean Rutherford when your name is read. For the entry-level program, Mariana Christina O'Neill. Rolando Nathaniel Norman. And for the RN to BSN program, Svetlana Shurik. And Hope D. Brown. Thank you, Dean Rutherford. The following students were selected by the Farquhar College of Arts and Sciences for their outstanding academic achievement. Please come forward and be acknowledged for your achievement from Dean Rosenblum as your name is read. From the Division of Humanities, Catherine Alyssa McInerney. And Desiree Kennedy. From the Division of Math, Science, and Technology, Naomi Rachel King. And Megha Margapuram. From the Division of Performing and Visual Arts, Kristen Gandauer. And Emma Magner. From the Division of Social and Behavioral Sciences, Haiti Margarita Martinez. And Jose Luis Martinez Serrano. Thank you, Dean Rosenblum. The following students were selected by the H. Wayne Huizinga School of Business and Entrepreneurship for their outstanding academic achievement. Please come forward and be acknowledged for your achievement from Dean Jones when your name is read. Christy Marie Schnepp. And Barbara Rosso. Thank you, Dean Jones. The following students were selected by the Institute for the Study of Human Service, Health, and Justice for their outstanding academic achievement. Please come forward and be acknowledged for your achievement from Dean Durham when your name is read. Kamara Chin. And Rainia Sherry Masick. Thank you, Dean Durham. Now, please join me in acknowledging all the recipients of the Outstanding Student Awards. It is now my pleasure to introduce Emma Magner, class of 2014. Emma is a double major in theater and marine biology in the Farquhar College of Arts and Sciences and has been asked to speak on behalf of the graduating class.
Good afternoon, President Hanberry, university leadership, distinguished faculty, families, friends, and fellow graduates. My name is Emma Magner. It is an honor and a privilege to represent one of the many voices of Nova Southeastern University's class of 2014. Philip Zimbardo, psychologist, professor, and 2010 NSU Distinguished Speaker, stated that the line between good and evil is permeable, and almost anyone can be induced to cross it. It is this permeability that sometimes makes it difficult to differentiate between right and wrong or good versus evil. This academic year, we have had the opportunity to explore the theme of good and evil through a variety of perspectives, such as course electives, performances and exhibitions, as well as the faculty lecture series and this year's distinguished speakers. As we graduate and prepare to leave NSU, we can reflect back on this theme. At these moments, when we are struggling to choose the honorable path, it is most important to remember your true self. This theme of good versus evil reminds me to stay true to myself, to not settle for the easier path, but instead to choose the path of my future, based on who I am now and who I strive to become. Studying at NSU these past 4 years has given us the opportunities to mature and the courage to find ourselves and forge forward on the path of our future. Initially, I enrolled as a marine biology major. So excited to pick my classes for the first time, I packed my schedule full of prerequisites and classes that fit my major. But there was one slot left, one slot for me to choose whatever class I wanted. And like many of you have done, I elected to take a class just for fun. Unbeknownst to me, I had just chosen my second major, theater. At first, I was hesitant to alter my original plan, but through the freedom that NSU gave me, I had the opportunity to find myself and nurture my passion for the arts. This helped me to realize that life's possibilities are endless and to never stop doing something that you love. Now, it's okay to have a plan. In fact, most of us do. But remember, life is not set in stone, and it's okay to take a step back and explore an unknown path. Our experiences here at NSU have prepared us to alter and revise our goals and plans as necessary. We are finally ready to take the next steps on this wonderful journey. The ability to change course, revise plans, and embrace the unexpected will help us bring forth possibilities and challenges that we can fearlessly embrace with courage and hope. Things won't always go as planned, but sometimes this unknown path might just turn out to be the best one for you. Therefore, embrace the freedom of not knowing what lies ahead. As we leave here today, we will be headed down a road of multitude paths, and many of us will continue to search for the honorable road to travel. Regardless of what direction you take after NSU, I think we can all agree that life seems a little bit scary right now. However, with the support of our friends, families, and mentors, we have finally reached graduation day, a day we always dreamed of wearing oversized gowns and goofy caps. However, we are finally moving forward into the unknown, a world full of yin and yang, good and evil. And it's a bit frightening, but ever so exciting. Attending NSU has not been easy. We wanted to challenge ourselves, and we have worked so hard to get here. So does that mean now that we have our diplomas and are taking a step into the real world that everything should come with comfort and ease? No. We still have a responsibility to our world, to our communities, to our alma mater, and to each other. Whether we have studied biology, business, political science, education, or the arts, we must not solely focus on selfish ideals, stature, or aspirations of grandeur. Rather, we must challenge ourselves to be critically and civically engaged in order to help our world be a better place. After college, life should not be about living quiet and active lives. Rather, we must embrace the passions that NSU has harnessed and the education that NSU has nurtured and do something relative and positive in society. Education is the power to think clearly, the power to act well in the world's work, and the power to appreciate life. NSU has given us the power to make a difference in the world. My educational experience at NSU has provided me the tools and skills to achieve success. I have learned so much from the field experience, travel study programs, the chance to perform in plays, and the coursework offered here. Some of my opportunities included field studies in the Everglades and the Florida Keys, a marine mammal internship at Sea Life Park, Hawaii, as well as Dolphin Research Center in Grassy Key, Florida. And travel studies included a trip to the Galapagos Islands and whale watching in Baja California, Mexico. This university has also made it so easy to find my niche. Most of you can agree that without all of the extracurricular activities, clubs, and organizations, we would not have found those lifelong friends we now call our family. These friends, colleagues, and associations that we have formed have impacted us in immeasurable ways. These important interactions have helped us get through the struggles and stresses of student life. On behalf of my fellow students, I would like to thank our parents and families for their emotional and financial support during our academic development. Additionally, we must thank our professors who have dedicated their professional lives mentoring, teaching, sharing their knowledge, and promoting confidence in our graduating class. The individual thinkers that we have become is largely thanks to our time spent at NSU. We have not only gained knowledge, been open to new ways of thinking, and been prepared for rewarding careers, but we have also built lifelong connections with our friends and classmates. Every class, club, and activity we have been a part of has shaped who we are today. Throughout this collegiate journey, we have made it through failures, broken hearts, loss of loved ones, and many other difficult times. But through all the discomfort and confusion, we have learned more about ourselves than we ever expected, and we did it together. Today, we move toward the future, but it is pertinent that we hold fast to our support networks who have encouraged and grounded us throughout the years. We may be headed in different directions, but let's continue to support one another as we embark on our future endeavors. As peers, we are each other's greatest assets. Our generation has a heavy load on our shoulders. We are confronted with monumental planetary issues. It will rest on us to settle conflicts peacefully, to protect our delicate ecosystems, and to combat the epidemics of drug addiction and world hunger. The list of problems facing our world is growing, and soon people will look to us to solve them. As the philosopher Bertrand Russell said, we should continue our search for knowledge and pursue a path that will promote the love of humanity and all living things, and have compassion for those that suffer in order to overcome the injustice of evil. Our generation, this graduating class, must rise up as leaders in order to be the good that overcomes these world evils. With that said, I want to congratulate you all for earning your bachelor's degree. Be confident in what lies ahead and forge on onto that unknown path with the confidence and brilliance that NSU has helped us discover within ourselves. If you have an opportunity, take it. If life changes, let it. Life is dynamic and always changing with many blocks in the road. This unknown path won't be easy and will present many choices between good and evil. Your knowledge of what is good and what is right will most certainly prevail over the negative. Life is full of wonderful and amazing possibilities. Don't lose your sense of adventure, your sense of awe, and your willingness to try new things. never stop learning, and persevere. My equation or formula for our graduating class is knowledge plus hope plus action equals good and negates evil. So, class of 2014, let's make our paths count. Congratulations, we did it!
Thank you, Emma. She's right. You've made it. It's now my pleasure to introduce our main speaker, Captain Chelsea B. Sullenberger III, who's to receive the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Will Captain Sullenberger please approach the podium? I would like to have assistance of Dr. Rogers and Dr. Williams. And I will read the honorary doctorate. Chelsea B. Sullenberger III. You've been dedicated to the pursuit of safety throughout your adult life. You masterfully landed U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River and saved the lives of 155 people. Captain of what has been dubbed the Miracle on the Hudson. You are an aviation safety expert, an accident investigator who is also the founder and chief executive officer of Safety Reliability Methods, Inc., a consulting company dedicated to management, safety, performance, and reliability consulting. Born and raised in Denison, Texas, after graduating from high school, you pursued your childhood love of aviation by enrolling in the United States Air Force Academy, where you earned your Bachelor of Science degree, commissioned as an officer, and earned the Outstanding Cadet and Airmanship Award. You earned a master's degree in industrial psychology from Purdue University and a master's degree in public administration from the University of Northern Colorado. After serving your country as a fighter pilot, flight leader, and training officer in the United States Air Force from 1975 to 80, where you attained the rank of captain, you joined Pacific Southwest Airlines as a pilot. You remained with the company through its acquisition by U.S. Airways, retiring in March of 2010. You have more than 40 years of flying experience and have performed accident investigation duties for the United States Air Force and have served as an Airline Pilots Association representative during the National Transportation Safety Board investigation. Additionally, you have served as a local air safety chairman and as a member of the organization's National Technical Committee, where your work led to the creation of a Federal Aviation Administration Advisory Circular. You were also instrumental in developing and implementing the Crew Resource Management course used by the U.S. Airways, and you have taught the course to hundreds of other airline members. From 2009 to 2013, you inspired and educated the youth of America about aviation by serving as a co-chairman of the EAA Young Eagles. You also became a New York Times best-selling author of Highest Duty, My Search for what really matters and what makes a difference. Stories of vision and courage from American leaders. You have served as an international lecturer and keynote speaker at educational institutions, corporations, and nonprofit organizations about the importance of aviation and patent safety, crisis management, lifelong preparation and learning, leadership, and living a life of integrity. In collaboration with DuPont Sustainable Solutions, you developed and you were featured in a multi-award winning video training program, Miracle on the Hudson, Prepare for Safety, which has helped employees increase their commitment to safety and transform their organization's safety culture. After logging more than 20,000 hours of service in the skies, you became an international hero on January 15, 2009, when you and your crew safely guided U.S. Airways Flight 1549 to an emergency water landing in New York City's frigid Hudson River after the Airbus A320's two engines lost thrust following a bird strike. You and your crew have won international acclaim for your actions that day, including the passage of a congressional resolution recognizing you for your bravery. Chesley B. Sullenberger III, in acknowledgement of your commitment to the safety, transformation, and continued growth in the field of aviation, the Board of Trustees of Nova Southeastern University is proud to confer upon you the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree. Saturday, May 10th, 2014, Abraham S. Fischler School of Education, College of Healthcare Sciences, College of Nursing, Farquhar College of Arts and Sciences, H. Wayne Heisinger School of Business and Entrepreneurship, Institute for the Study of Human Service and Justice of Nova Southeastern University. Congratulations. Chairman Asif, could you come forward for the... You're going to introduce him?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family members, and of course, graduates. My name is Alberto Pinero, and I have the distinct privilege and pleasure of introducing our speaker for this year's commencement ceremonies. Like the graduates gathered here today, I am a proud Shark. I enrolled at Nova Southeastern University in the fall of 2000 as an undergraduate. Those years were meaningful as I benefited from my dedicated professors inside the classroom and by playing soccer as a student athlete under the careful guidance of Coach Joe DiPaolo. I know how you feel as graduates on this special day. I was sitting in this very arena in 2004, having graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Biological Sciences and a minor in Chemistry. That day, I had a feeling of amazing accomplishment, as I know you do today. To further illustrate the importance of NSU in my life, I attended NSU College of Osteopathic Medicine, graduating with a degree of Doctor of Osteopathy in 2009. In the years that have followed, I have practiced in my specialty of sports medicine, including my current position as Sports Medicine Fellow at the University of California, Davis. All of these opportunities presented themselves because I worked hard and chose to come to NSU and be a Shark. Now, it is possible that you wonder why an alumnus such as I would be given an honor of introducing Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger. The answer to this is fairly simple. Captain Sullenberg and I have a connection. I was on US Airways Flight 1549 that fateful day in January of 2009. President Hanbury has already done a wonderful job of describing Captain Sullenberg's vast accomplishments. I can only add my perspective in bringing this gifted man to my university to speak to you today. Life is full of lessons. Some you learn in class, many you learn outside the class. One thing I learned through the experience of being on that plane is that sometimes in life, you will encounter individuals that, even for the briefest moments, have the ability to profoundly impact your life. This would be an obvious understatement when referring to the brief, yet undeniably powerful impact Captain Sullenberg has had on my life. To think that, because of the gifted skills of Captain Sullenberg as a pilot, I now will be able to use the skills I developed through my education and training from Nova Southeastern to directly impact lives as a physician makes the ending of the story all the sweeter. So it's with great honor, emotion, that I introduce to you the man who saved my life and the lives of 154 others. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Thank you. Dr. Pinero, Alberto, my friend, or as the passengers and I also know him, seat 16F, thank you for your kind words. It's great to see you again, Alberto, especially on such a happy day. You know, I only recently learned that you are an alumnus of Nova Southeastern University. Who knew that on January 15, 2009, there would be a shark in the Hudson River? But fortunately, only briefly. The air was 21 degrees that day and the water was 38. I've been trying for over 5 years now to remind everyone that the successful outcome on Flight 1549 was the result of the efforts of many people, the crew, the first responders, the New York Waterway who rescued us, and many others. But in spite of that, I've gotten most of the attention. I'm the public face of this event. And that's unfortunate, especially for my crew, and especially for our first officer that day, Jeffrey Skiles. I could not have had a better colleague that day or since. And as you can probably only imagine, after going through such a traumatic experience together, we've become very close, bonded like brothers. In fact, some say that we spent so much time together that we're like that old married couple who can finish each other's sentences. Now, Jeff isn't here today, but if he were, I could tell you just what he'd say to you and just how he'd say it. He'd say, you know, I deserve some recognition too. After all, I'm the one who was flying the airplane into the birds when Sully became the hero he is today. I want to tell you, before I go on, to remind you that today is not just about looking forward to what's next. It's also an opportunity for reflection. I want you all to take a moment to look back at your life, to remember where you started this journey and how far you've come. Everything you've achieved so far, and it's not been easy, but you have done it. You should be extremely proud of what you've contributed not only to this university, but to your growth as a member of our society. All the countless hours of effort you have put toward the degrees you're receiving today have paid off. And as you deal with new challenges in life, remember the hurdles you've already overcome. Doing this will give you the confidence and the perspective you need to face new challenges. Your family and friends today here are very proud of you. I can feel it. I have heard it. The faculty is proud of you. Your classmates are proud of you. I'm proud of you. And you should be proud of yourselves. I know that one of the reasons I'm here is because of the events of January 15th, 2009. But I'm also here because of the things I did for decades before. The things that I learned to be able to handle in 208 seconds the challenge of a lifetime. I'm also here because my family has always had a strong belief in and an emphasis on education. You see, I had the great good fortune to grow up in a safe, stable environment in which education was valued, ideas were important, and striving for excellence was expected. My grandparents were born in the 19th century, and yet all four of them attended college. Remarkable, especially for women of that era. To those of you graduating today in education, the impact on the future generations has not yet been realized, but your gift to our society will undoubtedly be great. And I know this from firsthand experience. You see, my mother was a first grade teacher for 25 years in the small Texas town where I was raised. She loved being a teacher. And so I received from her two wonderful gifts: a lifelong love of reading and of learning. With these two gifts, you can learn anything. As President Hanbury said, today does not mark the end of learning, but rather the beginning. The beginning of a process that I hope will be a lifelong one, of each of you learning how to be the most complete, the best version of yourselves. NSU has taught you how to learn, but you must become a lifelong learner. And I think that has become an economic necessity. As the pace of change globally only accelerates, most of us cannot get through an entire professional working lifetime with only a single skill set. We must keep on learning, growing, stretching, reinventing ourselves. I've had to. We must see new connections. We must discover the interrelatedness of things in life. We must gain the experience and wisdom that we need by paying attention along the way. We must learn how to innovate. For those of you today graduating in sciences, I applaud you. I applaud your choice to pursue a more difficult path, to commit yourself to the study of science. The purpose of science is to provide humankind with a more complete and accurate understanding of reality. Scientific literacy has never been more crucial to our future. In your lives, you will encounter, no doubt, hatred, injustice, ignorance, and the worst, most dangerous kind of ignorance is willful. Scientific literacy is not only a civic duty, it is a professional and personal responsibility. And while I'm not a scientist, I work very hard to try to think as well as one. For you business graduates, you face challenges unique to your generation. The world's economy is more competitive, complex, and interconnected than ever before. You must work to keep entrepreneurship and innovation in the forefront in order to succeed in this ever more global marketplace. But never forget that the basis of business, what makes business possible, is trust. For graduates pursuing healthcare, You also face huge challenges, entering the workforce during an economic tsunami of change. You must find ways to increase the quality of health care to address the great need to improve patient safety and avoid preventable medical accidents, while at the same time controlling costs and providing greater access. But no matter what path you choose to follow, whether it be education, science, business, law, human services, aviation, healthcare, or another, I encourage you to always follow your passion. It will take you far in life. I was very lucky to have found my life's passion at such an early age. At age 5, I knew I wanted to fly airplanes, and I was fortunate to be able to spend my entire life doing just that. And having found my passion at such an early age made me more willing to work hard at my profession, to become more expert at it. And not only did I benefit from this, but I believe that society has as well. I've heard from literally thousands of people over the last 5 years about how the story of Flight 1549 has given them inspiration and given them hope. Following my passion has helped me to achieve and find purpose and meaning in my life. And I can tell you from personal experience how much fun it is to be particularly good at something that's difficult to do well. So how does one climb the ladder of professional standing? How does one become an expert that others look up to? After a lifetime of watching many of my colleagues and noticing which ones achieved the best outcomes, which ones made even the most difficult challenges look easy, even though we all knew that they were not, and which ones inspired others to emulate them, I have found that in the end, it was a 3-step process of competence, trust, and respect. When someone enters a profession, one wants to be thought of by their colleagues as being competent, as having the ability to do the job. And after years of consistently demonstrating competence, one may gain their peers' trust. And if over many years, one very reliably proves to their colleagues that they are competent and worthy of trust, if they work very hard, if they are particularly adept, and if fortune smiles on them, they may eventually earn their colleagues' respect. You may become such a mentor. You may realize your leadership potential. No matter what path you choose in life, it's important to do things for the right reasons, in accordance with real core values. We should strive for excellence and success, but not for our own ego, not for our own enrichment, but for the goals of our organization and for the betterment of our society. In fact, ego can be our own worst enemy if we let it close us off to the communication, the collaboration, the innovation of others. Life is a team sport. When everyone is doing their share in a collaborative way, it just feels right. I experienced that on Flight 1549. My crew, First Officer Jeff Skiles, Flight Attendants Donna Dent, Sheila Dale, Doreen Welsh, and I never stopped working together to solve the many problems that we faced. We never gave up. We never lost faith in ourselves or in each other. No matter how dire your situation may be, know that further action is almost always possible. When we are true to our ideals and work together, there is little we cannot accomplish. After January 15, 2009, I began to hear from some of my airline colleagues, people that I had flown with years, sometimes decades before, and they began to tell me what they had started to call Sully stories of long ago events that I had forgotten, but that they had not, because something I'd said, something I'd done, some situation we'd faced and the way I'd handled it had resonated with them. They were kind enough to share them with me. And sometimes I was reminded about an important flight-related safety issue, and once I was simply told about the time that we had arrived at our destination late one night, and after all the other passengers had deplaned, there was an elderly passenger who needed a wheelchair. and whoever was supposed to bring the wheelchair was nowhere to be found. And so after a few minutes, I went into the terminal, searched out and found a wheelchair and brought them the rest of the way. My thought process was a very simple one. I've gotten you this far, I'm not going to leave you here now. My colleagues also told me they were not terribly surprised by the outcome on Flight 1549 because of the way they had observed me living my life 4 years before. It turns out that my reputation had been built one interaction, one person, one day at a time. In every encounter with another person, there is inherently an opportunity for good, for ill, or for indifference. We just have to choose which it's going to be. Someday, someone will tell a story about something that you have done. What story will they tell? What kind of person will they describe? Make sure that story paints a picture of the person who matches your goals, your values, your ideals. Live your lives in such a way that your values are apparent. You'll be taking important steps on the way to a life well lived. When I began to prepare myself for today's address, I asked myself, what could I possibly say that would be relevant to you, to your experience across this gulf of over 40 years? And I think it would be this: to do what I've tried to do in my life, to continue to invest in yourselves, to never stop learning, never stop growing, either professionally or personally, to show up for your life, to choose not to be a bystander, to be present. None of us knows what tomorrow may bring, yet each of us has the responsibility to prepare ourselves well. I will watch with great interest to see who you become and what you do. At the end of our lives, I think it's unlikely that we're going to be counting our money or cataloging the things that we managed to accumulate. Instead, I think it's much more likely that we may simply ask ourselves a question: did I make a difference? My wish for each of you is that your answer will be yes.